Several Formula One team principals admitted they were stunned when McLaren chose not to pit under the Lap 7 safety car in Qatar, an error that cost Oscar Piastri a near-certain victory and cost Lando Norris a place on the podium. At the moment the safety car was deployed, Piastri was leading, Norris was running third, and their McLaren looked like the strongest car on the grid. But one strategic decision flipped the entire race on its head. The timing of the safety car couldn't have been more critical. Lap 7 marked the very first moment teams were allowed to pit due to the strict 25-lap tire limit imposed by Pirelli. With the race set for 57 laps, virtually every team had already prepared for this exact scenario: pit at the first window, gain a cheap stop under safety car conditions, then pit once more around lap 32 to reach the finish. The entire field followed that plan except for the two McLarens. Max Verstappen, who restarted the race in third, essentially lost nothing by pitting early. Once the race resumed, McLaren discovered they didn't have the pace advantage needed to offset the time they would later lose making green flag stops. Verstappen cruised to victory while McLaren watched their golden opportunity slip away. Red Bull team boss Laurent Mekies said he was very surprised by McLaren's call, explaining that Red Bull had already predetermined they would stop at the first opportunity. Aston Martin's Mike Crack echoed the same sentiment, saying the situation had been discussed in detail pre-race, and every piece of data pointed to pitting immediately if the safety car appeared early. The fact that every team except McLaren boxed was, in his words, proof that the decision was simply wrong. Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur went even further, saying his team had identified lap 7 as the worst-case scenario because it left exactly 50 laps remaining. But even then, the strategy was clear: pit on lap 7, pit again on lap 32, and avoid unnecessary risk. He suggested McLaren may have hesitated due to concerns about stacking both cars in the pit lane, but ultimately admitted he did not understand the decision. Even Williams briefly considered leaving Alex Albon out, but only because he was already outside the points and needed something unpredictable to change his race. Within seconds, they dismissed the idea, agreeing that the early pit stop was unquestionably the correct move. McLaren team boss Andrea Stella later explained that the team simply wasn't expecting the entire field to box, believing their drivers would lose too much track position by stopping. Instead, they lost the race. And now, because of that single decision, Verstappen heads into Abu Dhabi just 12 points behind Norris, with Piastri only 16 back. 3 drivers, 1 race, and a championship suddenly blown wide open.